Lindsey Graham said, and God bless him, he said that I'm a pessimist. No, I'm not. I think America's best days are ahead of us, but he doesn't think that. He thinks that I believe her best days are behind her. He said he doesn't listen to pessimists.
You can listen to them if you like. I choose not to because, quite frankly, I don't want to go down the road of thinking our best days are behind us.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think I do? You know, there are people who watch this show and say, oh, yeah, well, he's just a TV. He's just doing it for ratings. I believed in Ronald Reagan. Pessimism doesn't work with the American people. Do you think I want to believe it? As a dad, do you think I want to believe these things? That I want to believe that we're going to go into hyperinflation? That the country could financially collapse? Let me make this clear to you. I'm not a pessimist. If I was a pessimist, if I believed these things and I was a pessimist, I wouldn't be living in New York City. I mean, they're going to be eating each other in this city. Things collapse, not going to be pretty here. I'd be living on a farm someplace far, far away from New York City. I am an optimist. Let me take that back. I am a realist. We must recognize that the system we have is infested with beetles. It's got a disease. It has a cancer. Why is America spending its time ridiculing somebody who says, you know what, you should really get a checkup and then maybe get some chemotherapy? Why are you making fun of the Terminex guy? Start getting treatment. Call Terminex. Hello, I think we're infested with beetles. Because I'm a realist, I am an optimist. Because I know what the disease is, and in your gut you do too. It's corruption, and it can be treated, it can be cured, but not if we just sit on the sidelines and go, yeah, well, what are you going to do? Not if we continue to tear each other apart. Not if we waste time screaming at each other. Well, you're a donkey. Well, you're an elephant. I'm an optimist because I know we're Americans. We are the people that conquered the West. We are the people that crossed the mountains in wagon trains. I don't think I could do that. We are the people. My father told me. He was born in, I think, 1926. He said, son, when I was growing up, I never thought that we could even ever put a man on the moon. We're the country that did it in 1 decade. You're telling me we can't defeat corruption? No, somebody has to spell it out. The system is corrupt. And if we don't fix it, we're doomed. But we can fix it. But if we don't, we're going to go the way of the Soviet Union. The last arrogant big superpower and empire. For 70 years, they were the big sequoia. They were the ones, the Soviet Union, a world superpower with a military of 5 million, over 30,000 nuclear weapons. They were feared, and they played a big role on the world stage. I remember the Olympics when we were going after them. Do you remember what happened to the Soviet Union? Oh, yeah, it came crashing down, didn't it? Didn't take long for it to fall, either. It didn't come crashing down. It didn't collapse. They were saddled with beetles, soaring budget deficits, foreign debt. During the 1990s, it was out of control. In the 1980s, who did it to them? Then the price of oil declined overnight. Inflation was at 20-25%. The ruble's international strength, it declined. They were embroiled in endless conflict. Where? Afghanistan. Is any of this sounding familiar? Let me show you the parallels, because it didn't collapse. It happened. We were spending them into oblivion. Ronald Reagan, he was bluffing on Star Wars. Why? To get them to start printing rubles, start spending money. He knew they could collapse from the inside on monetary issues. Then, the seeds of discontent. The Pope played a role. How? He got the people inside, fighting each other. Poland, the seeds of discontent. Then this man played a role. We were paying for this man. Why? Get him embroiled into a war they could never win. Then the price of oil. Saudi Arabia. Let me just change a few things here for you. Ronald Reagan, God bless him, is gone. Let's change this scenario from Russia to us. Who's got us spending all kinds of money? Who has sown the seeds of discontent to where we're yelling at each other all the time, where we're not allies anymore, we're not even neighbors anymore, we hate each other? Who's doing that to us? Oh, I know, they'll blame it on me. Really? Of course they blame it on me. Otherwise, we got to look at what they're doing. Spending us, sowing the seeds of discontent. We're in a war in Afghanistan. I don't know if you noticed this, not going well. What's the plan there? And then the price of oil. Gosh, what happens if all of a sudden Saudi Arabia says, by the way, the oil no longer paid for in dollars. This is garbage. It's worthless. We have these problems in place, yet our government is still jamming through trillion-dollar health care plan. What? Spending hundreds of billions of dollars on bank bailouts. Oh, they need some more money. How about some more stimulus money? They don't even flinch at billions in the cost of a massive cap-and-trade program. One that in the face of rising energy costs, who in their right mind would raise energy prices on purpose?
Under my plan of a cap-and-trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
Skyrocket? Why would you do that? Why? America, this is not about you. It's not about him. It's not about the flag. It's not about money. And I know because I hear it all the time from politicians, but I think they're robots. Oh, it's about the children. This is about the children. This is about our children having some sort of future left. I will live on this. I will live on this. I don't care. As long as my children have something left in the end. It is important to note that the Soviet Union did not collapse. It was transformed, which is why this soundbite that I play over and over again bothers me so much.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
What does that mean in context of the Soviet Union? Well, after all of that stuff happened, and their rubles were worthless, and oil shot up, 3 Soviet leaders met in the woods. They decided the Soviet system wasn't working. They knew. They knew it would eventually implode. Let me tell you something. Our leaders now know it will implode if we continue down this road. Well, in the Soviet Union, they drafted a document and transformed the Soviet model. They presented that model, that plan, to the Supreme Soviet Council, who had 1 hour to debate. They were told, you're going to do this or it's going to implode. You be very aware. Keep your wits about you. Read history. Know what you believe. Know the truth. Question with boldness. Hold on to the truth that you find. And then you speak without fear. I think someday somebody is going to have a meeting and they're going to say, this is going to be worthless, and the people will panic. We need a plan. Oh, there will be a couple of plans, I'm sure. I wonder if those plans will take us farther into freedom or farther into their hands and their control. The people that created this mess will come to you with a plan. You'll have to know, because everybody else will be freaking out. You will have to know, do you want your life and your freedom and your children's freedom in the hands of the people you don't trust with it right now? Vigilance. Vigilance.